Alright, so for multiplying polynomials again, you are welcome to reference that notes page that we did together. For adding, subtracting, and multiplying, this is just an extension of those things already learned. I'm looking at number 1, which is the quantity 6p plus 8 times the quantity 5p minus 8. So referencing the worksheet you would have just completed on distributive property, right? This is just the same thing as us doing 6p on its own times 5p minus 8. And then adding in 8 times 5p minus 8. Okay, we're just going to do both of those things and add them together. So let's just ignore this little 8 here. What's 6p times 5p? Numbers first. What's 6 times 5? Now variables, p times p. Well, it's a p to the first power and another p to the first power. So there's one p, another p, makes for 2 p's. P squared. Now, what about 6p times negative 8? Numbers again, 6 times negative 8. It's negative 48, and we tag on that p. So we just did 6p times everything. Now let's ignore the 6p and just worry about the 8. 8 times 5p. 8 times 5. Eight times negative 8. Carried down. Negative 48 plus 40, right? Because those are both p's. They are like terms. Negative 48 plus 40 is negative 8. And then the negative 64 is still there. So give me a second to write that down. That is a 64, not a 6y. Right, pause if you need to, because I'm going to have to erase that so I've got space for 2. Remember, in any of these videos, it benefits you to pause, try a problem on your own, and then go through it. You're welcome to fast forward. You can change the speed of these videos to be faster or slower. If you think I'm going a little too fast, you could slow it down too. If you just kind of want to zoom through it as a review, even if it's past this before you do the check-in, right? You can just speed up that video and see all the problems done relatively quickly, just as like a brief skimming reminder. So I'm looking at 3m minus 1 times 8m plus 7. Let's ignore this minus 1 first. 3m times 8m. 3 times 8. M times m. Now I need 3m times 7. 3 times 7. And then we still have the m in there. Okay. Well, I've taken care of 3m. Let's worry about this negative 1. So I have negative 1 times 8m. Negative 1 times 7. Well, let's put it all together. Nothing to combine with this. Now we have positive 21m minus 8m. 21 minus 8. And then negative 7 is still there again. That one I can leave up. And then let's do 3 together. And then jump forward to somewhere trinomials come into play. Just ignore this -1 right now. 2a times 8a. 2 times 8 is 16. A times a squared. 2a times a -5. 2 times -5 is -10, and then a is still there. Now we have that -1. -1 times 8a, -1 times 8 is -8. Still have the a. -1 times -5 is a +5. Now when I put those together, first term has nothing to be combined with. Those middle terms are going together. -10a and a -8a. -10 minus 8, or -10 plus -8. And 5 is still there. So these next few, all similar. So I'm going to look at 11 now. Is the first one where a trinomial comes into play times that binomial. Number 11 is a binomial times a trinomial. We have 4a plus 2 times 6a squared minus a plus 2. We're going to do the same process. You just have to multiply it by an additional term, and then afterwards, when we're adding together, some more things are going to combine. Let's ignore this 2 right now. Got 4a times everything in there. 4a times 6a squared, 4 times 6. Now we have a times a squared. So that's 1a times an additional 2 a's. We've now multiplied 3 a's together. 4a times -a. 4 times, that's a -1. -4. A times a squared. Now I just have to do it one more time. 4a times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Keep the a. So, we have worried about the 4a. Now let's just worry about the 2. 2 times 6a squared. 2 times 6 is 12. And then I know it's going to be an a squared, so I'm going to put it under the a squared. Got 12a squared. 2 times -a, remember that's just a -1. 2 times -1 is -2. There's an a there. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So if you notice now, we've lined up 2 separate things that can be combined. 24a cubed is still by itself, still there. Now we have some a squareds to put together. -4 plus 12 is a +8a squared. Then we have +8 minus 2 for a 6a. And then that 4 can't be combined with anything. It's still there. And that's what you'll be doing for these last 2. For 13, remember, you can rewrite this if you feel like you want to. Make that 2r minus 4 times 7r squared minus 6r minus 6. I would recommend that, just because that's the way we just did. You'll have done it for 11, 12, and then 13 as well.